All right. All right, Auntie, let's go. All right, sorry, I set up everything here. So I just wanted to, these stuff, you have your difficulties when you start off, but we're good to go. All right. All right. Whoa. Okay, everyone. Welcome to our what we call this inside discussion. All right, from Minding My Business Kingdom Academy. All right, and today, this evening's our guest is Patrick is going to be with us. We're going to be having a discussion on how to reprogram your mind, that scarcity, poverty and scarcity mindset. And also, we're going to be sharing other things in the area of the gated dominion system and some of the things that we have in store for you. But also, as I said before, what we want to do, we want to be able to, those of you who have questions, right? So we want this discussion to be literally open, and we ask, and those of you who have any questions to just put it up on the chat. All right, if you want to jump in, just put your hands up, put the sign up, okay, so you can be part of it. Okay, so folks, let me just ask Achan to just share a little bit about himself. Who are you? Let the people know something about you, and then we're going to jump straight into this. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So blessings, good night, everyone. Hope all is well. So my name is Antonio Patrick. I'm 23 years of age from Faisabad, right? And I love working with people. I love helping people, understand their value, understand that they were created for greatness by greatness. I know literally helping people reprogram the way that they think, reprogram the nothingness that people would have put on them as they were growing up, and helping them realize that they can achieve anything that they desire to achieve. So if I was to describe myself, I would say I love helping people, I love working with people, I love helping people reach their full potential, and I love doing it through obviously the kingdom and obviously business as well too.
All right. Also, Patrick, tell us what it is happening now, what it is doing, what it is you're doing, what is going on in your life now. All
Okay.
right. Just
So right now we on our mission. We project 1,000, then project 10,000, then project 100,000. But right now we on our mission throughout the Caribbean to practically liberate people financially, emotionally, mentally, and holistically through being able to start their own business, being able to generate their own income, right? And not
Mhm.
having to be tied to someone controlling your time, telling you what to do, right? You being able to understand the power of leverage, the power of network marketing, the power of building systems and using it to your advantage. So right now, I believe that and not believe, but we are on a mission of liberation through, helping people create wealth through
All right.
businesses.
Okay. And how that is going so far? How is the response that is going so far? Just share that with us a little bit.
So it's going absolutely amazing, right? Now you've been around the block, as Kishon like to say, for a while. And you've known the you've known the trials, the tribulations, etc. And you're always going to experience that in the process of success, right? And
Yeah.
not that you wouldn't experience that is to be naive, right? But it's going absolutely
Yeah.
great thus far. I believe a lot of the blessings and a lot of the rewards that we were promised in the beginning, actually showing itself in this opportunity, in this time, at this moment, right? I've
Yeah.
personally been able to help a lot of young people, right, generate an extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a week. Even had some people generate $10,000 a month, right? And the team has been doing really exceptional, the entire core, right? Being able to share information and liberate, whether I be stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, whether I be people going to college, Yeah, even people working 8 to 4, 9 to 5, just being able to help everybody on a holistic basis. So yeah, it's going amazing. We already started traveling the
All right.
world, and we don't plan to stop.
That is good. That is good. I think when I see the crew moving and the young people and the impact, I think that is something that is really, really needed. Okay, so I really thank for what you have shared and even the inspiring that aspect of it. So let's jump into our discussion on tonight. And folks, those of you who are on again, I want you to um, text. I want you to comment. I want you, if you have any question, if you have any input, because we want this to really to be about addressing this issue. Of course, we're going to be sharing principles and concepts so that you can literally apply. Okay, but I want to hear from you on tonight. Okay, so we're going to be discussing how to reprogram your mind from a poverty and scarcity mindset. So this is part 2 because we are already into discussion. And what Patrick has shared with me, he's already into that in some of this stuff that he's doing with some of the folks in his group. Okay, so the first question I'm going to ask you, Patrick, is that what are some of the challenges that you are experiencing where poverty and scarcity in terms of mindset is concerned? What are some of the challenges there?
Okay, understood. So one of the major challenges that I would say that I've seen is basically, as we like to call it, your paradigm or your foundation. A lot of
Yeah.
individuals grew up in environments that would have literally programmed them to believe that they are not worthy of success, they are not worthy of receiving a certain amount of money, right?
Mm.
And because of that program and because of the environment, literally, even if they get the opportunity to practically reach the point that they want to reach, they naturally
Yeah.
sabotage themselves without even knowing that they self-sabotaging themselves.
Okay, so that is some of the things that you're seeing.
Well,
All
that's
right,
one of
so
the
let's
major things. Yeah.
one of the major things. All right, because what we had shared before basically was we dealt with. I give a definition in terms of the whole poverty and scarcity, and one of the things I said is that I said firstly it's a psychological pattern. All right,
Mm-hmm.
and that psychological pattern individuals where individuals um, perceive resources, opportunities, and success as limited. So it's a psychological mindset. All right. And what this does basically, it leads to a fear-based decision making. So people, when opportunities are presented before them, they're going to make decisions based on fear as a result of that mindset. So there's a psychological aspect of it. And so they make decision based on fear. All right. And then you have what we call chronic stress and lead to self-sabotage. Okay, so that is one of the definition I touch on. And the other aspect I talk about, I share with the root cause. What is the root cause of poverty and scarcity? Some of the root cause I mentioned was childhood experiences, financial instability, and trauma, because your environment has a lot to do with it, because there's a programming that got to be dealt with. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to scarcity, when it comes to poverty, this is why the definition speaks about it's a psychological pattern. There's a pattern that needs to be break, because you'll realize that when somebody come out of that environment, when they come out from that environment, from that poverty environment, that environment that impacted them, that shaped their belief system. Okay, they're 30 years, they're 40 years, they're 25 years. They make decision based on that pattern that has been formed. All right. So dealing with that is critical. So we talk about some of the other root cause I mentioned was social conditioning, fear of taking risks and things like that. All right. So the other aspect I mentioned was recognizing the impact of, in other words, how scarcity or poverty thinking, how that impact a generation. All right. And the point I mentioned was financial starvation, which means that there's a lack of resources, lack of money. When you talk to individuals, is that I don't have money, I don't have this. because one of the area in dealing with that is that you have to be into what educate yourself. You have to be into change your mind. You have to be able to read books. You have to be able to put yourself in that room, literally. Okay, so when opportunities are presented before individuals, most of the time you hear this say the first thing is that I don't have any money. All right. Now, on the one hand, that could be a fact, that could be reality. But remember, again, is that you move by faith or you move by finance. Okay. And if you're gonna break that poverty, that's a scarcity mindset, if you keep saying you don't have, if you keep saying that, but you see, the reality of that for individuals is difficult because remember, we are dealing with the psychological programming. People are literally programmed, so they think a certain way. So whenever an opportunity is presented before them, an opportunity, listen to this, Patrick, an opportunity that is designed to bring them out, to change their life, okay, their response basically is from, I don't have, a lack of resources. Their response from fear. Now, have you experienced some of that with some of the folks that you're dealing with as you move towards success? Share some things with.
Definitely. So like you mentioned that day, and I remember, one of the mentors that I usually listen to, they said, you have two choices. You could either say you don't have the money, or you could say, how could I get the money? Right? It takes the same energy
Right.
to ask two different questions, but two different questions going to give you two different results, right? So I have
That's good.
experience.
That's good. That's good.
I have experienced a lot
Hmm.
of fear when it comes to people,
Right. Fear.
you know,
Okay.
deciding to jump out, take the opportunity, right? And they always say the acronym for POI is passing over opportunities repeatedly. And
Yeah. Yeah.
most
Yeah.
people pass over opportunities as they rightfully say because they fear. They don't know what's next. And they don't have the faith to move forward,
Right.
right? And one thing, as you say, it all starts in the environment. It all starts from home. And one of the major goals that I
Mm-hmm.
try to achieve every day is to help people understand that if you go to live in fear, you'll never reach anywhere, right? And you need to
Okay.
start
That's true. That's true.
yeah, you need to start moving on faith, right? And it even brings
All
you
right.
back to, we love to use the Bible as a perfect example. When you speak about faith, it brings you back to the story of, the serpents and the talents, right? You know the story, a master was going away. He gave three of his servants some talents, right? One of them, unfortunately, they went and buried the money. Why? Because they were fearful. They were afraid of losing it, right? And
Right.
when
Okay.
you came back, so yeah, a lot of people miss out on opportunities because of fear and loss.
All right. Now, again, I want this discussion to be. I want us to be real with this discussion. All right, because we are dealing with people who that mindset is really there. But how do we really deal with it? How do we approach them? How do we get a person, an individual who has that scarcity poverty mindset? And you're presenting, listen to me. Now remember, you're presenting an opportunity before them, and this
Mhm.
opportunity is able to revolutionize their life. But yet that person who has that mindset literally they're not able to see it. And if you can seize it, you cannot seize it. How
Right.
do we shift that person? How do we move that person? No, think about that question. And those of you on, I want also to take some comments also on that question, because this is a reality. Is a reality what we are dealing with in our country and in individuals' life. Here you have an opportunity that is going to revolutionize your entire life. Here you are the only person in your family that have this opportunity that when you come out, you are able to bring the others out. Okay, and it's all based on a decision that you're going to make. Now I see I'm awesome good to have you on. Blessings, man. All right, awesome. I made a statement there. Question versus statement. Okay, a question opens the mind. Okay, a question opens the mind. All right, so those of you in the chat, check it out, put your comment and ask your question also, put it up on the chat. So back to that stuff, Patrick. So how do you move that person? How do you move that person? Okay, because
Okay.
you're into marketing, right? You're into sales and all that stuff. Go ahead, talk to me.
So the first thing in anything is firstly knowing the position that you're at, right? So if I was to go and put it into practical example, let's say I wanted to go Port of Spain, but I'm in Faizabad. I need to know, well, okay, I'm in Faizabad. What's my next step? So I would say the first step in helping someone move from a position of, scarcity or poverty is helping them understand firstly where they're currently at. So, we like to call it
Wonderful.
conscious incompetence. So they have the
Mm-hmm. All right.
position of not knowing that they don't know to move into a position
All
of,
right.
okay, know that I don't know. How do I move
All
forward?
right. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. So as the first business start, wonderful. That's
Correct.
awesome. That's awesome. All right. And if I'm gonna add to that, I'm gonna add something to that. All right. Just let me add this person. I'm gonna add something to that. All right. Where it talks about uh strategies to reprogram your mindset. And one of the things you have to deal with people is challenging their what we call the negative beliefs. All right, challenging their negative beliefs, because remember, the belief system has already been formed as a result of life experiences, as a result of the environment that they grew up in, as a result of hearing these statements and these words from people who have that kind of poverty mindset. So all those are contributing factors that shape their belief system. Okay, so now that person is 25 years, that person is 30 years, here's an opportunity before them. All right. So what are the areas you have to do is challenge negative beliefs. How do you challenge negative beliefs? Okay, because that is the opposing factor they're dealing with when they are faced with opportunities. Okay. And in order to challenge negative beliefs, you got to be able to reframe your thoughts. Your thoughts. So you had to replace, and this is just simple stuff. You replace I can't afford this with how can I create value to afford this? Now, folks, I want you all to hear what I'm saying there. All right. Instead of saying, I can't afford this, I don't have money. Okay. So you're changing now. What you're doing, you're creating value. How can I create value to avoid this? Your statement is important. But then if we go back a little, if we take it further, how can I get that kind of statement? How? All right. I need information. Okay. I
Correct.
need to read books. I need to associate with people who are having that kind of conversation. Okay. I need to connect with people who belief system is already at that level that will challenge my unbelief and my that kind of mindset that I have. So my connection and my association is important. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Let's just share some more stuff on that again. Let's go again. So, folks, those of you who are on, let me check the chat. All right. Let me hear what some of the folks are saying in terms of how we challenge negative beliefs. How we challenge negative beliefs. Because some of you who are on, you into sales, you are entrepreneurs, you're dealing with stuff and things. Okay, and you're dealing with people, you're approaching people, you have to sell them, you're giving people opportunities. Okay, and we know we sell value. But when you give people opportunities, okay, majority of the individuals are literally saying, I don't have money, I can't afford this, I can't afford this. And you already know those statements and those response coming from a place of scarcity or a place of poverty. It's a mindset, it's a belief. Okay. So what we're talking about now is how do I literally change a strategy for reprogramming the mindset? Okay, that is what we're dealing with. So go ahead and touch on that again. Let me hear it. Go ahead. So, folks, those of you are on, I want you to also contribute. Let me hear what some of the folks are saying. All right. All right. My guy is on. Keisha is on this still. All right. Wonderful. All right. So go ahead. Let me hear. Yes, sir. Wonderful. All right. Keisha says on. Yes, sir. All right.
Yes,
Okay.
as you're right person, like everything in life you mentioned was absolutely correct. Like I made a video before I came on the session,
Yeah.
right? And just let me know if you hear me clearly because it kind of sticking on my side.
Yeah, I realize that, but that's okay. I'm hearing you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, good. So yeah, before I came on the course, I actually made a video, right? And I was saying that, you know, you can't do anything without the information, right? And I remember learning this from, Kishon. I remember that time I was sitting down in a session and I heard him break up the word information. And I researched it, and it was you can't take action on info that you don't have.
Okay, of
So
course.
the first step is somebody understand that, okay, I'm in this position, then helping them understand that, okay, I need a new set of information, right? Then also helping them to see that it have a different reality than the one that they know. So being able to create the right environment, being able to give them a different experience than they are accustomed to, right? So one of the major things that I work on a daily basis is trying to create the right environment for young
Okay.
people to come in to actually see a different kind of lifestyle, be around a different kind of people, be treated differently, right?
Yeah.
And it's on servant leadership because, like, I remember being around Kishon. Anytime I'm around Kishon, most of the time I don't pay for anything. If I take something, he would pay for it. And what happened is that it literally trickled down to me, whereby if any of my team members are around me, I usually cover
Right.
the expenses because they're my team. And it's like a culture of just serving, giving,
Right. Okay.
pouring into
Okay.
people, compared to coming from a culture of where people taking from you, people trying to, run over you, disadvantage you, right? Rob you of what's yours. Over here, in the right environment to grow people and add value to people on a daily basis. So that's a major thing as well in helping people transition from a poverty and scarcity mindset to a mindset of abundance, a mindset of you know the world is practically a gold mine. Like you
Yeah.
literally could anything that you want, but you need to develop yourself in order to be at the capacity to receive it. And you definitely need to expand your mind for that.
Okay, wonderful. I love what you say, that building that environment or that ecosystem where you're bringing those young people in that environment, because remember, it's an environment that formed the mindset that create that
Correct.
pattern. So how you combat that is bringing them in an environment, another environment, but an environment that is positive, an environment that is educated, an environment that is able to stretch them. Okay. And in that environment, you have certain structures that will impact their mindset. Okay. I really love that. And even what you share about concerning some of the things that you learn from Keyshawn, now you are implementing that. Okay. Because people will have to, the folks that you bring into an environment, they will literally have to experience wealth. They will have to experience these things because that is part of impacting the belief system. Now, one of the things that it is said is that what you experience is more real than somebody telling you something.
Correct.
Okay. So coming in that environment, yes, the teaching is good. Yes, the knowledge is good. But now living it before them, they're actually seeing what you're doing. And they're getting now an opportunity to experience that environment that is different. Okay. And that is also lasting. And one of the concept is that abundance flows through creativity and collaboration. Okay, let me say it again. Abundance flow through creativity and collaboration. So when you bring those individuals in that environment, this is why the environment, this is even like discussions like these, an environment like these is really, really important. But you got to be able to do it on what? On a consistent basis, because consistency breeds result. Because remember, poverty mindset and scarcity mindset, those mindsets are really, it's strong. All right. It's when I say strong, It's something that you deal with it, but you got to deal with consistency, constant. Even for those of you who are reading and those of you who are listening to motivational speech and training, and you're always in a course and thing, it's not a one-time thing, okay? It's not a one-time thing. But one of the things I've learned is that putting yourself in the room, all right, in that environment, having that mentor and having that coach and thing, somebody just walking you through, I mean, that's the game changer. All right. Now, the next point I wanna introduce to help people even make that transition, that reprogramming, is also adopt what we call long-term thinking. Adopt long-term thinking, which means now you have to be able to set at least 1 to 5 year goals. Okay, you have to be able to do that restructure and focus on what? Wealth building versus short-term survival. Let me say it again. Focus on wealth building versus short-term revival. Because remember, most people that has a poverty or scarcity mindset, they're on survival. Give me this, hoarding, they're taking, they're snatching. All right. They have that what we call the pie mentality. Okay. So you want to be dealing with individuals like that because they want to take, they want to hoard. So if you what we call, and those of you who are on, remember we have a discussion, but I want to give you, I want to make sure I give you some principles whereby you can apply to deal with that mindset, because it starts with the thinking. It don't start with the money. You know, one of the things that I always remember Kishon saying when we have our discussion, all right, if you said, and you remember this too, if you can't make money without money, you cannot make money with money. I mean, that's something that always stay, that statement always stay, because most people come in and they don't have, all right? And they think that because they don't have money, it's over for them. So the concept now is that I need money. So that gimme mentality and that hoarding mentality, it's the behavior, it's a pattern that gotta break. All right. So they're going to be, and in order to break those things, it takes consistency, it takes time. So what I said to you, adopt long-term thinking. So you're not thinking in short term, you're thinking in long term. All right. So what you want to do, you want to set 1 year to 5 year goals. Okay. And in doing that, now you're focused on wealth building. Wealth is different from just money. Okay, this is longevity, this is generational. We're talking about this is legacy. So you focus on wealth building versus what? Short-term survival. Because majority of individuals that come from a place of poverty and a place of scarcity, they're thinking survival. Give me this, feed me today, give me today. All right, I want it now. That's that. Okay, they're not thinking. They are not thinking wealth. They're not thinking longevity. Okay. So that is one of the things. Now, there's an example. So the example to this is that instead of cutting like market budgets and during inflation, you reinvest in tools and to reach new customers. So let me plug this in here. So what you'll be able to do now, you have to be able now to get books and invest in things, take courses. Okay. But remember, individuals with that mindset, they will prefer to buy an outfit, okay, or go somewhere and eat a KFC or something. And if you begin to add up the kind of money, but they will never see as investing in a course, investing in a book, all right, they will find that they will always say they don't have the money for that. But if you add up the money for KFC and if you add up the money for the clothes and the outfit and the shoe, you'll realize that, hey, is a lot of money spending in those things that really bring in what we call instant gratification. And there's no long-term change and growth. So those are the things that you really have to challenge. And I want to encourage those of you who are on, folks, all right, who are faced with some of these challenges, all right, get yourself a mentor, get yourself in that room, because it's not going to start with you having a set of money, because most of the time, if you have scarcity and poverty mindset, remember, you can't manage money. You really can't manage money. You think you need money, but there are things that you need to learn, things that you need to be developed to really know how to begin to handle stuff. All right? Remember, if you can't make money without money, you're not going to make money with money. It starts at that level. All right? That's for the master himself. Okay? All right. So let's push again. So folks, let's hear from the folks. Remember, we're going to stop at 7. We're not going to be on too long. All right, look, somebody make a statement. Nicholas, good to have you on. He says, life is hard. It is one thing that people say often. Everyone has to choose what they're hard. Life is hard, but choose your hard. Choose hard now and live comfortable later, or choose comfortable zone right now, and it will be hard later. I mean, that is awesome. Okay, you choose now. All right, is that it? Is that it? And the next way you say that is you pay now and you play later, or you play now and you pay later. Okay, it's a choice, and some of us are pay later because we play early. So we missed that opportunity. And those of you who are at that age in your 20s and your early 30s, okay, you still have an opportunity to what? To pay now. All right. Because if you play now, guess what? You'll have to pay later. So best you pay now. Pay what? Somebody say, well, Dr. Cummings, pay what? All right. You have to pay that sacrifice, that time, that sleepless night, that, doing that, okay, building the system, now the rest later. That's it, Jackie. You build a system, you work to build a system, so later you will rest, so the system will work for you. All that is part of it. All right, so folks, this discussion, how many of you are enjoying the discussion? All right, Patrick, you want to share anything again? Go ahead.
Well, you would have mentioned it, right? And Nicholas would have mentioned it as well too. You said life is hard, and one thing I usually share with my team members is I usually pull them up on the words that they use. So a lot of them like to say, I would try this, right? And probably. And I usually correct them, and I let them know that you have to be careful of the words that you speak, because the words that you speak, it creates a reality, right? So that's the next way that I usually help individuals come out of that poverty or scarcity mindset, having them be conscious of the words that they using on a daily basis, right? And even the people that they're listening to, that pouring into them on a daily basis. I would have learned it from you. Who you controls the city, or you control the gates,
City,
right?
yeah.
So whoever you learn through your gates, the gates of your eyes, the gates of your mind, right, is practically who you let in control your life.
Your city.
You're not controlling your life. So I usually help young people understand the power of the words, the power of what they're looking at, what they're listening to, right? And you would have spoke about also, because I know the call is based on helping people, move. You would have spoke about young people buying clothes, buying shoes, instead of buying books and buying programs. And I always wasn't a big reader. But I remember one of my friends, he introduced me to The Richest Man in Babylon. After reading
that's
that,
awesome.
I was going like The Richest Man in Babylon. Like, I always say, I can't pay he for introducing me to that book, right? And
wow.
Yeah, one of the major principles I would have learned from that book is a part of all the earners yours to keep. And I usually have conversations with young people around the age of 16, 17, because they're now coming out of school. And most of them start to work when they come out of school if they don't go to school, right? So I usually have the conversation with them. If you're making $4,000 a month, you want to at least pay away 10%, because more than likely you're still living in your mother house. You have no bills to pay, you have no child to mind, right? So, and I give them the practical example. Let's say if you was to save 400 a month for 4 months, or even 5 months, you would have 2,000 by the end of that month, right? Let's say you want to go and take that 2,000 and purchase, that we say, an asset. I usually like to use the waka, because everybody knows a waka, right? So I usually explain to them, you can take 2,000 and buy a waka. And now you could send out a post, any young man in the community want to be able to generate income for the self. You could come run the waka for 200 a day. You could make how much money you want to make, and you pay the $200. And I showed them the example. If you was to run that waka 10 days out of the 30 days in a month, you would make $2,000. Right
Right.
now,
Yeah.
the principle in the book says a part of all you earn, you want to invest it, and then you want to take the babies and invest it as well too. So after you
Right.
make that first 2,000 from the first backer, you go on your buy next backer. You now have
Yeah.
two young men working the worker. You're now making $4,000 at the end of the month without your time and your energy being attached to that 4,000. So you're making 4,000 from your job, where you're working
Yeah.
at 8 to 4, 9 to 5, but you're
Right.
making 4,000 on the next side from two assets that they use 10% to go to work for you. And
Hmm.
that's a big mindset shift when it comes to earning money in today's society.
That's good. That's good. That's good, Patrick. Watch me. That's really good, folks. I hope you all are taking some copious notes and jotting down some stuff. Remember, this is going to be up on the YouTube, so go back and listen to the discussion, because I really believe that some of the things we're sharing is really, really important to help you shift. All right, let's look at the chat. I think there's something up in the chat. All right, somebody please. What daily habits or affirmation do you personally use to maintain an abundance mindset during challenging times? All right. So, let me ask you that question. Let me before I jump in it. All right, let me read it again for you, Anthony. It says, "What daily habits or affirmation do you personally use to maintain an abundance mindset during challenging times?" All right, so that's one part of the question. We'll go to the next one just now. Okay. Now, so share with me what are some of the daily affirmation you use to deal with challenges that you face dealing with that mindset.
Okay, so number one, everything starts in a good book for me. All right,
Okay.
so I was created for greatness by greatness. So that helps me understand that greatness is within me. Right.
Right.
Understand as well too that I was created to have dominion. So
Oh,
that's our next
wonderful. Okay.
affirmation that I usually use.
Right.
Me having
Okay.
dominion means me controlling. I was given the power to control everything, right? So it
Right.
means I also lack nothing as well too, right? And
Okay.
next one is from Bob Proctor. He says money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple
Okay.
sources on a
Source of
daily basis.
income.
Correct.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
So
good. That's good.
that's three of the
That's some
major affirmations
affirmation.
I
All right.
use. Correct.
All right. Because
Correct.
I
And
think the affirmations are really, really important. Again, for those of you who have these kind of challenges, sit and write your affirmation. One of the affirmation I use affirmation also every morning, every night. I'm so grateful and thankful now that I'm earning $100,000 per month easily and effortlessly with my book, school, and courses, and traveling all over the world internationally first class. Okay, so that's one of my affirmation I use every day. I stand in front of the mirror and say, I am so grateful and thankful now. So you do it in the present tense. All right, you're always in the positive. Okay, so that's what I use. Okay, let's go to the next part of the question. How does gated dominion system specifically help individuals? All right, that's 1 second there. How does gated dominion specifically help individuals move from recognizing their gifts to actually walking into mastery and dominion? All right, so probably I will answer that question. So how does gated? Now, gated dominion, the gated system is a system I built at the end. I know this is one of the program that you're coming in at the end of the month, but this
correct.
is a program I've built, okay, to help people, individuals identify their gifts, their skills, all right, their offertory and their purpose, okay, to move them from what we call from gift to dominion. So the program built into the program is there are systems built in the program to help individuals develop. All right. So if you take, for instance, tomorrow now, I think Saturday, I think one of my mentees who came out of the first class we did. His name is Pierre John. He's going to be on with me on Saturday morning. We're having a master class, and I'm going to share some things on that just now. Don't miss it, folks. And he came out of that first gated program, right? And with his business, with his transport business, and we're going to share. I don't want to go into it now, but we're going to share it on Saturday. How he was able to scale up and expand and elevate his business as a result of coming out of the class. And some of the teachings that we did, because you're skillful, you're gifted, but you have to be able to know to move to the perfection and to mastery, to dominion. And built into the program is what we call a DIS analysis to help individuals move, to dominate. And you said something before, that area of dominion, to dominate, because it is the will for everyone to dominate in the sector of society that you function. All right. Okay. To do that. So the gated program is designed for that. Okay. And that is one of the programs we are pushing now. And this is why, even like, for instance, like we talk about the poverty and scarcity mindset. So when we interviewing folks and we talking to folks and being part of the program, one of the things you constantly hear, and guess what? I don't have money. All right. But thank God for the wisdom and the strategy that God placed within me. I'm able to sit with those individuals to show them. All right. Again, we go back to that statement I learned from Keyshawn. If you can't make money without money, you can't make money without money. And I'm gonna plug this here. All right. And for those of you who are listening, and you could use this wherever you go, you always, if you're going to do something, you always start with positive. You always start with a positive, and you start with a yes. All right. So, like, for instance, Anthony, you say, okay, I'm like the gated class, the gated cohort 2 we have coming up. Anthony said, okay, I want to do it. I want to be part of it. It starts with a yes, because what a yes does, and I tell people, it don't start with you having the money. How many of you are waiting for money to open that business? And it's 5 years, 6 years, and guess what? You're still waiting on the money. Come on. It don't start with you having the money. It starts with a yes. And somebody said, Dr. Cummings, what a yes does. A yes is so powerful. So you said, yes, I'm going to do the course. Yes, I'm going to buy the books. Yes, I'm going to educate it starts with a yes. Because what a yes does, a yes open up the doors of opportunities. Because remember, you don't know where the money is coming from. Let me say it like this, all the universe needs is your agreement to get it to you. All God needs is your yes to get it to you. So when you say yes, Antonio, let me share this. When you say yes, then somebody out there could be moved to come to you to give it to you. But if you say no, you close that door. A yes open the doors of opportunity. That is what a yes does. Okay, so for those of you who always say, no, I don't have the money, and no, you don't understand. Yes, you don't have it. But when you say yes, all right, somebody could be moved, or some job opportunity could come, all right, so that you can get that money to do what you have to do. But it don't start with a no, it starts with a yes. Because if you keep saying no, you keep the door closed. All right? Yes, open the doors. No, close the door. Okay? So let me see. I think I have a next question. Let me see what the next question they say. How can corporate professionals use the gated? Whoa. All right, this person into the gated here. But how can corporate professionals use the gated dominion system to elevate their leadership, navigate their career transition, operate from the place of purpose and mastery? Wow, that's a big question. All right. So what happens now? Okay, so the program has built into the program, we have these different aspects of acronyms built into the program. All right. So you have coaching, you have mentoring, you have training, you have educated, you have those things built into the program. So we use the word GATE. We built an acronym and to shift you from one area. So the first thing we start with, stop. You stop and you identify yourself. You identify what gifts, what skills, what talent, and offertory that you have. When you identify that, you move to the next step, which is what comment. Okay. Now, those aspects is able to build your areas of leadership, different aspects of your skill set. So for instance, we have someone who was working in the banking sector, who was in the program, all right? And as a result of going through the gated system, okay, she was able to move to a managerial position, all right? Why? Because the program was designed to build, to help you elevate. So no matter what business you have, no matter where you're working, as long as you come through that program, you're going to elevate as long as you apply the principles that have been taught in the gated system. All right. So it elevates your leadership, it elevates your team building. So you're able to work together and stand out. Because remember, the key thing is what? Dominion, for you to dominate. That's the thing. Okay. And I believe, for me, I believe that is one of my main assignment now. It's to train people to dominate. That is my mandate now. All right. So I'm merging what? Ministry and the marketplace. Okay, that's the comment. All right. Okay, what is that? Dr. Cummings, what inspired you to write 4 levels? Well, this person into my stuff. Dr. Cummings, what inspired you to write the 4 levels of human 4 levels, and how do you hope this book will transform the way people approach their purpose and mindset? All right. I mean, I think you have a copy of that book, Patrick?
Yeah, I think that's the 4 levels of human existence.
Yeah.
Correct?
Right. Yeah. 4 levels of human existence. And I think well, the 4 levels of human existence deal with moving from the begging level to the wealth level. So you're begging, you're digging, your money, and the wealth. Those are the 4 levels we deal with in that. All right. So when you are able to basically, yes, the book is in existence now. I think for what we're gonna do we're having a business breakfast in Tagarigua on the 7th. What is that? On the 7th, I think, of June, mid-June. Okay, so we're going to be having books, because I ordered some hard copies and stuff there. So we got books out for that. Okay, but in the book is able to really help you identify where you are. All right, is whether you're at the beginning level, and what level you are on, how to dig your way out of the beginning level to what? To the digging level. Then you move to the money level, because money is going to flow for investment, for business, all right, to move you into what we call the wealth level. All right. The plan for gated. I think somebody going to put it up on the chat. All right. Somebody asked about how they can access gated. Okay, so there's going to be information on the chat for the landing page. So you can check the landing page, and also there's a payment plan also for the gated that's going to be starting in the month of June. Cohort 2 is going to be starting in June. Okay, so the information is going to be on the chat. Check the chat, right? And you're going to get the books. You're going to get also the information for the business breakfast that's going to be in Tagarigua on the 7th of June. Okay, so all that's going to be on the chat. All right, if you want more information for it, message me. All right, so folks, listen to me. Patrick, we're coming to an end, and I wanna really thank you for your time and your input. All right, I really enjoyed this session. Honestly, I really enjoyed this session with you. All right, and the same, it's nice what we do it twice.
Correct.
All right, correct is right. So we're gonna do it again. Okay. For those of you who are on, I want to just let me see if I could. I know earlier on I was trying to share a video with them, and I couldn't share it. Let me see if I could share it now, Antoine. All right. Okay. That's now. Uh, right, folks, you see that there. All right, inside. All right, let me just. Welcome to the Gated Dominion System free masterclass happening this Saturday, the 17th of May from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'm going to have a guest with me, one of my mentees who came out of the Gated Dominion System, and he's going to be sharing with us some insight, his experience, and how his business shift.
In a world filled with confusion, limitations, and survival mode, a system has emerged, unlocking dominion, purpose, and prosperity. Meet Dr. Ian E. Cummings, author, certified leadership coach, spiritual guide, and business strategist. With over 20 years of experience, Dr. Cummings has empowered thousands across the Caribbean, Africa, and Europe to rise above limitations and walk in purpose.
I created the Gated Dominion System to help people move from gifting to governance, from potential to power. It's spiritual, it's strategic, and it's proven.
One of the most powerful tools in the program is the exclusive Gated Disc Assessment, a custom-built framework that uncovers your leadership style, spiritual gifting, and pathway to dominion.
Hi, my name is Pierre John, and I've been a student of the Dominion Gated System course by Dr. Ian Cummings, and it has really been an impactful course for me. I am an entrepreneur, and the methods, the principles that I learned here has really helped me excel my business and take it to the next level. And I want to recommend this course because it not only gives you information, but it tells you how to apply it. It gives you a whole breakdown. And especially the one-on-one session, going through your specific business and tips and tricks on how to get it functioning at the next level. That was one of the most impactful things for me. And I want to highly recommend this course to you. If you really want to take your business to the next level, you know what to do. Get into the Dominion course, all right? Blessings.
If you are not doing this program, you are missing out on something. I am a businesswoman, and my business is from this level to this level. Get on board, don't miss it. I am a student of the Gated Dominion System. My experience was an extravagant one. The system actually taught you how to use tips and different systems where you can utilize in your business and your personal life to take it to the next level. So I will definitely recommend the system where you would be able to develop yourself personally and professionally.
Now, it's not a program that you come and just sit in. You have to put in your work in order to get your business moving forward and even to develop yourself. So come on board, you won't regret it.
But beyond the titles, Dr. Cummings is a man of deep compassion, discipline, and divine vision.
This isn't for everyone. It is for the bold, those who are ready to walk in their authority. Let's shift your life, your leadership, and your legacy. I want to see you on the inside.
Cohort 2 is forming now. 10 sessions across 5 power-packed weeks. Visit GatedDominionSystem.com. The next 5 weeks can unlock your next 5 years.
Okay, folks, the information for what we share there is going to be in the chat. So you can click on the link, you can register, all right? Also, there's a payment plan to be part of it. Any question, most of you, right, my number is there. You can message me. You can message and let us know. All right. Also, this Saturday is going to be our. We're going to have my one of my mentees. Let me see if I have it up here. Yeah. All right. Yeah. John is going to be on. We're going to have a master class. All right. And this is one of the young men I shared with you about who came into the program, who probably just with his business, but I'm telling you, I don't want to go into his story, but you're going to hear it from him. Really revolutionary, really, really impactful. We're going to have some insight into the gated program on Saturday. So I'm going to share with you what is built into the program in terms of this analysis, all right, the masterclass, all right, the interactive session, the teachings. I'm going to share some things with you so you're going to get some insight. Okay, there's a link there for the masterclass on Saturday. Click on it. You're going to register. It is free. You don't have to pay anything. All right, it's going to be free. So I will expect to see you. On the inside. All right. So, Patrick, thanks again for sharing. I'm really, 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 really glad that you took the time and you're doing an awesome work. Continue. All right. And I know your heart and your desire for the young people and to move them into that place of wealth. All right. And I know that your mentor and the team that you're with is really an awesome team. And Keyshawn is doing a really, really awesome job with you. All right. And I know a lot of his folks are on. Okay. I'm supposed to be doing some stuff with you all soon. So I'm looking really to spend at least a half day with you all. It's going to be really, really excited. All right. So thanks everyone for being part of this session tonight. Okay. We're going to be back again. I think it's a Monday. We're going to be back again Monday. I think I'm going to be with Sharice Job is going to be on Monday. All right. Check the chat, the information, the links are on the chat. All right, for the gated system. You can get your tickets on e-ticket. There's a payment system. And also we're going to be in the East. Okay, we're going to be East on the 7th. All right, people are still coming in. All right. We're going to be in the East. All right, we're going to be in the East on the 7th of, right, thanks, Anthony, on the 7th of next month. Okay, be part of that. And the gated session, the business breakfast meeting in Tagarigua, I'm going to be going into my book, The 4 Levels of Human Existence. All right. Of course, we have a guest, Sharice Job is going to be with us. Okay, she's a mentor for a lot of women all over the globe. So she's going to be with us in Tagarigua. So come to spend some time with us. All right. For those of you who have been in the first business breakfast and the second one, all right, we shared a lot of information, but this one is going to be interactive and I'm really going to get into some stuff. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so check on the chat, the links are on the chat, and I'm going to see you on the inside, not from the inside. Shalom, love you, stay blessed. You know, I always say, don't ever stress. All right, shalom. All right, so check the chat there for those of you who want to get the information. Get the information there. All right, let me see if I can run some stuff here while we are on. So while you are checking the chat, I see Christian, good to have you on, sir. Vanessa, right. All right. It's always right. All right.
I'll just say Dr. Cummings as well. You know, like one of the discussions I was having with Keyshawn, because we attended the last breakfast session, right, in San Fernando, and that was really, really impactful. And I wish the entire team was actually there to get the information I was shared. So, you know, for all those who missed the South session, they should definitely be in Tacarigua.
Yes. Thanks. Wonderful. Right. And I'm excited about Tacarigua because and my book, 4 Levels of Human Existence, I've never really when I tell folks say, well, Dr. Cummings, how do you know about this book? When I travel, remember I travel a lot, right? In Europe and different countries. My book, every time I touch down to my book, God, all right. I say I will walk a 200 book, all right. Time 2-3 sessions for the week, and sometimes I stay for about 2-3 weeks. Book's gone. All right. So the book is really, really a lot, but I've never really when I push it in Trinidad. But now I've have some copies. I have about 200 copies here with me. So I'm going to push it in Trinidad. I'm telling you, it's a game changer, really, really game changer. And what we have also, we have what we call a well course that come out of the book. So it's a workbook, it's a course, and they have the book. It's really, really a game changer. All right. So let me see if I can share this with you all so you can see this. All right.
Every marketplace has a section called gates, which is different groups and categories of people would gather. There were politics, lawyers, doctors, traders, bankers, and merchants. People would travel from all over to come in the marketplace. It says it has been recorded that Jesus had around 132 public appearances, and 122 out of the 132 was in the marketplace. Out of the 52 parables that Jesus told, 45 were about the marketplace and the workplace. So your impact in the marketplace isn't optional, it is mandatory. When you talk about the marketplace, yes, every marketplace has a section called gates, which is different groups and categories of people would gather. There were politics, lawyers, doctors, traders, bankers, and merchants. People would travel from all over to come in the marketplace. It says it has been recorded that Jesus had around 132 public appearances, and 122 out of the 132 was in the marketplace. Out of the 52 parables that Jesus told, 45 were about the marketplace and the workplace. So your impact in the marketplace isn't optional, it is mandatory. When you talk about the marketplace, yes, every marketplace has a section called gates, which is different groups and categories of people would gather.
To create an opportunity so you can be part of this movement. Okay, folks, I'm out. Thanks again for taking the time. Remember, I've sent that message out. We're going to be on Saturday for our masterclass is going to be Saturday. All right, so try your best to be. You got to register. It's free, but you just got to register to be on the inside. Okay, and myself and John is going to be in that. It's going to be really, really awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's the flyer there. Okay, so make sure. I think that the link for this is also on. Okay, and those of you who want to chat with me, you want to know more about the gated dominion system, you're not clear about it, message me and we could have a Zoom call, we could have a one-on-one and we could discuss it. You're probably wondering how this program can help you, where you are, what you're doing. You message me and we could have a proper discussion about it. All right, so thanks everyone. All right, thanks for Keishon, thanks Patrick and the entire team for your support. All right, I'm going to see you on Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Okay, love, take care.